Have you ever wondered where your trash ends up after you throw it away? In an ideal world, it would be whisked away to a far-off land where it magically disappears. But the reality is far less enchanting. Every day we generate mountains of waste, a sizable chunk of which is plastic. This resilient material, while incredibly useful, has a dark side. It takes hundreds, sometimes thousands of years to decompose, and in the meantime it's wreaking havoc on our planet. Imagine a pristine coastline, a haven for wildlife and a playground for humans. Now picture that same coastline marred by a relentless tide of plastic waste. Seagulls pick through the debris, their natural habitats choked by discarded bottles, bags, and containers. The once crystal clear waves deposit more trash onto the shore with each passing moment. It's a grim sight, but the issue isn't confined to our oceans. It's in our forests, our rivers, even in the air we breathe. Microplastics, tiny fragments of broken-down plastic waste, have been found everywhere from the highest peaks to the deepest ocean trenches. They're in our food, in our water, even in us. The impact on wildlife is alarming. Animals become entangled in plastic waste or ingest it, often with fatal consequences. And let's not forget the human health implications. The toxins released as plastic degrades can find their way into our bodies, potentially causing a host of health problems. Our plastic problem is a ticking time bomb, a global crisis that demands urgent action. But it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the scale of the problem. After all, what can one person, one community do in the face of such a monumental challenge? It's tempting to think that our individual actions don't matter, that the problem is too big for us to make a difference. But what if there was another way? What if instead of being a problem, waste could be part of the solution? Meet Mia, a young artist with a vision for a cleaner, greener world. In a place where the ground crunches underfoot from the sheer volume of discarded plastic, Mia sees not an environmental catastrophe, but a call to action. She's an artist, an innovator. But more than that, she's an upcycling visionary. Mia has a unique perspective on the issue at hand. Where others see waste, she sees potential. Potential to create, to transform, to breathe new life into something that was once destined for the landfill. For her, every piece of plastic is a canvas, a raw material waiting to be reshaped by the hands of creativity. Each day, Mia dons her gloves, armed with nothing more than her imagination and a keen eye for beauty in unexpected places. She walks along the shore, sifting through the detritus that the sea so carelessly discards. Plastic bottles, bags, containers, they're all treasures in disguise to Mia. But Mia couldn't do it alone. She needed the help of her community. And help she got. Just as a single spark can ignite a wildfire, Mia's passion for upcycling set ablaze a transformation in her coastal town. It started small, with her neighbors lending a hand, picking up stray bottles, scavenging for discarded fabric, and collecting the plastic straws that littered their once pristine beach. The collected waste, instead of ending up in a landfill, found a new lease on life. Old plastic bottles, once a symbol of environmental degradation, morphed into vibrant sculptures, adding a splash of color to the town's public spaces. Discarded fabric, instead of languishing in a dump, fashioned into stylish tote bags, becoming the town's signature accessory. Plastic straws, once a nuisance, weaved into intricate patterns, adorning the town's walls and fences. This wasn't just about creating art, it was about breathing new life into materials that had been carelessly tossed aside. It was about transforming trash into treasures. It was about showing that, with a little creativity, even the most mundane objects could become something beautiful. But it wasn't just the physical landscape that was changing. As the residents worked together, they discovered a sense of camaraderie and purpose. They learned that each of them had a role to play in preserving their environment. They realized that their actions, no matter how small, could make a difference. The town's transformation didn't happen overnight. It took time, effort, and a whole lot of creativity. But bit by bit, day by day, the residents of the coastal town turned their home from a dumping ground into a work of art. Their story serves as a reminder of what we can achieve when we come together for a common cause. It shows that change is possible when we choose to see the potential in the things we often overlook. It proves that with a bit of creativity and a lot of determination, we can turn the tide on pollution and create a cleaner, greener world. The power of teamwork turned their town into a beacon of hope. And who knows, perhaps your community could be the next to join the upcycling revolution. Word of their success spread, and before long, the upcycling revolution had begun. Imagine a ripple in a pond, slowly spreading outwards, touching every corner of the water's surface. That's the influence this small coastal town had on the world. Their story of transformation, of turning waste into wealth, started to resonate with people far beyond their borders. Communities across the globe began to reevaluate their relationship with waste. The once discarded plastic bottles, bags, and containers were no longer seen as mere trash, but as resources waiting to be tapped into. The seeds of change were sown, and a shift in mindset began. Trash was no longer just trash, it was potential. Every piece of plastic, every scrap of fabric, every discarded item was viewed with a fresh perspective, as a potential ingredient for something beautiful, something useful. The upcycling revolution was redefining waste, transforming it from an environmental burden into an environmental solution. From the bustling cities of North America to the vibrant towns of Africa, from the sprawling metropolises of Asia to the quaint villages of Europe, the idea caught on. People everywhere were inspired. They started seeing possibilities where they once saw problems. They began crafting their own upcycled creations, breathing new life into old materials. The global impact of the upcycling revolution was profound. Landfills started shrinking as waste was repurposed. The once choked waterways began to clear as plastic pollution reduced. And the most significant change of all was in the people. They felt empowered. They realized that they could make a difference, that their actions mattered, that they could be a part of the solution. But the upcycling revolution was about more than just waste reduction. It was about fostering creativity, about building stronger communities, about inspiring change. It was about reimagining our relationship with our environment and understanding that every action, every choice, every decision has an impact. Their story is a testament to the power of creative thinking and collective action. This small coastal town didn't just start a revolution. They sparked a global movement, a shift in consciousness, a new way of looking at the world. And the upcycling revolution is only just beginning. So, where do we go from here? In a world where we are grappling with the consequences of our past actions, the upcycling revolution offers a promising beacon of hope. It's not just about turning trash into treasure, but about a shift in mindset, a change in how we view waste. Imagine a future where waste is not an end product but the beginning of something new. That's the crux of upcycling. It calls us to see potential where others see disposables, to find beauty in what was discarded, to create instead of consume. The power of this revolution lies in its simplicity. It's not about grand gestures or high-tech solutions, but about everyday actions carried out by people like you and me. It's about choosing to reuse that old jar instead of throwing it away, breathing new life into a worn-out piece of furniture, or transforming discarded fabric into a fashionable accessory. By embracing the principles of reducing, reusing, and recycling, we are not just minimizing our waste footprint. We are also fostering creativity, promoting innovation, and paving the way for a more sustainable way of living. But the potential of upcycling extends beyond individual actions. It can drive systemic change, influencing industries to rethink their production processes, and inspiring governments to implement policies that prioritize sustainability. It's a movement that, in its essence, is about creating a world where waste is seen not as a problem, but a solution. The upcycling revolution is more than just a trend. It's a call to action, a rallying cry for us to take responsibility for the waste we generate, and to do our part in preserving our planet. It's about realizing that every choice we make, every action we take, has an impact. As we continue this journey towards sustainability, let's remember that the power to create change lies within each of us. It's not just about transforming waste into wealth, but about redefining our relationship with the environment. Together we can turn waste into wealth and build a brighter future for all.